Bhairava Kalike, Namostate. Om Namo. Good morning, we are back on yet another video, and today's subject is my Paramaguru, the Guru of my Guru, Sri Bamdev. I've not been someone who takes the help or the support of exceptional bloodline to progress my own sadhana path. They've always been Gupta, hidden. I've never spoken about them. I've had dikshas in different stages of my life and my path of sadhana. However, for that specific mandala or for that specific period, I've taken them as my guru, and then I've bowed my head and walked out. However, there is only one bloodline or lineage of gurus that I would accept and take as my own. That is the lineage of Bamdev, Bamakhepa. Bamakhepa, me, between, there is a guru who gave me diksha, who is my guru in physical body. I will not talk about him in this video because this video might not be enough for me to speak about Bamdev itself. Of course, there is enough and more on social media for you to read about him, but I will have to talk about him to make you understand why the rise of Ma Adhyakali is to understand this, you'll have to understand two specific and major gurus. Number one, Bamakhepa. Number two, Sri Ramakrishna. Here, his entire life is a message on Ma Adhyakali. And here, Sri Ramakrishna and Anand Thakur, Swami Vivekananda. These three need to be understood separately, and then Bamakhepa needs to be understood separately. Ma Tripura Sundari, the heights of the Rajasi Guna exceptionally just in the cosmically highest states of Rajoguna, cosmically the highest states of the most expensive saris, jewels, and envisioned as the queen of the queens. However, above her there is a form called Tarini. Above her there is a form called Kali. It is not that she is superior or inferior. She is a projection of Ma Kali at the highest states of Rajasi Guna, because certain minds can only accept Devi only if she is sitting in that specific form. She must be the highest. So that mind is able to accept it. So she is projecting herself in that way, and then suddenly she appears completely throwing away all that saris, grandeur, everything. Stands there in the rawest of the raw form, tongue out slowly, not showing herself as a poised queen, but she is still the same queen, but standing in the smashana, making you and slowly pulling you towards the tamasi guna, because this is the guna that nobody understands. This is something you do not understand at all. This thing on. It is something you do not understand at all. So Devi in her form as Ma Tarini slowly pushes you towards Ma Kali. But she is the greatest teacher. Blue Lotus, for a reason, greatest teacher of all times. And her greatest putra, Jayama, Tara Putra, Bamdev, Guru of my Guru. I'll talk about my Guru in a separate video, right? Not being somebody who hugs onto the Guru Parampara as a means of certification, because I am against saying that if I belong to this specific Parampara, I am more blessed than somebody else. No, because I do not believe that, because exceptional ones will outshine by themselves and not because they have a famous Guru. I stand by this again, and if you are without a famous Guru, please do not think for a minute that you are incapable or reduced in your standards of sadhana. You might break out and you might become the greatest legend who will be spoken about for the next few hundred years. Okay? Please do not, because my entire journey path has been that you should take your bloodline and understand why your bloodline has exceptional sadhakas already. Every bloodline is special for Devi. Every bit of karma, the most exceptional karma of carrying human and the most painfully stuck human is equally special to Devi, and he too can immediately have a life that goes to this level, right? Do not mistake and think that I am from a very weak bloodline. No. So I am for the first time talking about my Guru Parampara does not mean that you will feel yourself to be inferior. No. Right? Let's go into it. Bamdev belonging to the Khepa tradition. What is Khepa? Divinely insane. What is divinely insane? Somebody from a very normal, societally normal standards of living looks up somebody and feels that ye usne apna pura life, he has given his entire life in the service of Devi, refuses to come to me, and I consider myself normal, he is abnormal, so he is Khepa, divinely insane. It is this person who gives that person that title, right? Now, we have come to that state where we must embody and understand that you have to become a Khepa. You have to go into that level of madness for you to attain oneness with Devi. We get into these two specific subjects. First, we understand Bhamdev, and then I already spoke about Ramakrishna Ji, Vivekananda Ji, and Anand Thakur Ji. They are two beautifully clubbed into Adhyakali, and how it makes absolute relevance. So I'm sitting here in the Garbhagriha today. It has become an absolute oven, and Ma is just playing with me today. It is burning up here. Let's go. Bhamdev, born into an exceptional Brahmin family, very poor financial conditions. Bhamdev, as he grew, was not considered in any way to be a good student of the Vedas or the Shastras. They found him to be absolutely unfit to be taught anything. Society considered him as a reject. You know, they would call him. Sometimes they would call him as stupid, mad. They would not consider him seriously at all as he was growing up. His father also was exceptionally poor. Did not have a lot of money to take care of this boy. What would he always do? This is there all over in the internet. I'm just repeating it so that you get a little bit of context. After this video, please take time out and read or listen to videos on Bhamdev. Okay. From a very young age, he would steal the statues, small murtis of his neighbors and do the sadhana or upasana of those deities. Any murti that was missing from a neighbor's house, we could find with Brahma, because he was that crazy about sadhana. This reminds me so much about my own childhood days when I was so crazy about idols and photographs. I remember my earliest memory goes back till when I was around 8 years, when I started torturing my father to get me Japamala. I think it should be 8 years, so I'm assuming it is 4th standard or something like that. I also forced him to buy a photograph of Mahadev. Mahadev was a main photo. Ma Parvati slightly shown on one of the sides, and then there was Skand and Kartikeya and Ganapati. This photograph, my father threw it and broke it because I was not meant for it. I've come here for Karma Yoga. Until the age of 36, I'm supposed to burn. I'm not supposed to go back to doing that which I was always wanting to do in my previous birth. So he threw it away. So anyway, coming back to Bhamdev. So he would steal the photographs from the neighbor's house and do the sadhana of these photographs and statues. So he was that mad about it, and that is the only thing that made sense to him. That is the only thing he could do properly. Otherwise, he was absolutely unfit for anything else. Why did Devi make him like that? So that ultimately the family has no other go but to throw him into the service of Devi in some temple. There is no other go. If he was exceptional in education, exceptional in schooling, basic, at least he would have become a clerk in some bank or some British company. But he was unfit. He couldn't memorize anything. He was absolutely unfit for any kind of education. So procedural collapse, an exceptional Brahmin bloodline, and he's not able to mug up all these Vedas and Shastras and scriptures. That is procedural collapse at that moment itself, which is our most important term to understand Bhairava. Why is Bhamdev an avatar of Bhairava? We go deeper. He could not learn any scriptures, any Vedas, any Shastras. However, he would go into the state of Samadhi the moment he would say the name Matara, and he would go in the state of Samadhi at a very young age. Why? Sri Krishna has already given the answer to this. In the Kali Yuga, only the Nama Japa will save you. Greatest temples will get infiltrated, greatest sampradayas will get infiltrated by weakness. Weaker sadhakas who merely dress up, right? They dress to the standards of what is supposed to be divine. However, within them, they don't have any of these talents. This is the answer in Bhamdev, being unable to learn anything to do with the Shastras, anything to do with the Vedas, and how he merely could go into Samadhi by the utterance of the name Matara. We should not make the mistake of thinking that he was so special, so he was like that. Understand the message within. Why did she make him like that? He was so special. So ultimately, when he went to Tarapet, Devi saw him, and this is the biggest problem with people who are Hindus and refuse to become spiritualists. If you refuse to become spiritualists and always look at such important Divya Purushas so mechanically, you are screwed. Go to the beginning. Why was he born into an exceptional Brahmin family? Not by wealth, but by knowledge, by dhyana. His father was extremely learned. But he was unable to learn anything. Why was such a bloodline given such a simple boy? And why was he ensured that he cannot work anywhere other than the temple? Because he usko naam jap hi pata tha. So finally they put him into the temple and begged the temple authorities to give him a job, and he got the job of collecting flowers for mother. Procedural collapse. Excellently. Who gave the message that this is how it is going to be? Sri Krishna. Sri Krishna has already given us the message that only Nam Japa will work in Kali Yuga. So he would utter the name of Matara and flip into highest states of Samadhi. Beautifully envisioned and given the message that Nam Japa is the most powerful sadhana vidhi of Kali Yuga. Not sampradayas or not paths. Here I talk about my own Paramaguru and how he beautifully encompasses the fifth head of Brahma. He was Bhairava himself. He was a Bhairava avatara. And that is why he was able to place Devi so beautifully within him. Temperatures are rising. Let us go. Taraputra Bhamdev. Let us call him Taraputra Bhamdev. Let us understand Ma Tara, Tripura Sundari. I just told you, highest states of Rajasi Guna, absolute zero state of Rajasi Guna, so that you understand and walk the path to Ma Kali. Ma Kali and Ma Tara, they look almost similar. However, Tarini has that exceptional smile, smaller tongue, lotus, showing you that I don't worry. Slowly, you walk up to me slowly. Remember the lotus in the hands of Ma Lakshmi? Same, but it is blue. Slowly, walk up to me. I will teach you the highest states of Tamasi Guna. We have to quickly touch base onto the story of Anand Thakur, which I have also mentioned in another video, of how Adhya Kali, the first Vigraham that had sprouted out of the forests in Bengal, the statue was worshipped. However, she ensured that within 100 days, throw me back into the Ganges. I do not want to be worshipped in this way. She ensured that a Phat moment is placed in the historical texts itself, so that you understand that to worship Devi, the one who wrote the Shastras as Brahma, as Vishnu, as Maheshwara, the one who wrote these texts is saying that there is something beyond the text, that is something that cannot be quantified in the straight path. Divinely insane, Kepa. Here he begins to make sense. Here he begins to make sense. Kepa, who is divinely insane, and why he perfectly answers the issue that Anand Thakur faced, where Devi said that throw my statue back into the Ganges. I don't want to be worshipped as per Shastra. You are restricting people and saying that you should come in this way, only then you can attain me. No, I don't want it. If you say the entire geographical location of Bengal also follows this, I don't want it. You all come to the state where you realize that absolutely destroyed of any Shastras, any Vedas, something, and you come here only for me and understand that there is also the greatest Leela within the most inauspicious path. Only then you get to come towards me. So this is there in another video that I've spoken about, probably the one in which I announced the Kaliputra mission. Please go back to that video after this video to understand what was the story of Sri Anand Thakur and why Ma Adhya Kali's Abhay Mudra, Varada Mudra wala Vigraham was asked to be thrown back to the Ganges. Then we touch base onto the Taraputra, the one who, Tarini, the one who teaches from Tripura Sundari to Ma Kali, that gap. One who teaches the highest states of Tamasi Guna, the one who teaches what it is to embody and understand that dirty, left, dirty. There's a reason why we use left for cleaning purposes, and the reason why we use right for eating, right? So the one who teaches that isme bhi main hi hu. Very recently, I saw a video of a very famous guru on social media who said that when one of the bhaktas had walked up to him, he had written Mahadev here on the left hand. He said that you're using this hand for cleaning purposes. So when you're cleaning, that water will all splay onto that name. You should not do that. Yahan pe hi answer hai that he has not yet understood Matara. He has not yet understood Matara. If he understands Matara, he will realize that the hand is also Mahadev, left hand is also Mahadev. Him cleaning is also Mahadev. If you eat is also Mahadev. What happens to the food that is eaten is also Mahadev. The digestion, act of digestion is also Mahadev. The water that you use for cleaning is also Mahadev. The water flowing onto that name is also Mahadev. It's all Devi and Mahadev, Shiva and Shakti. Sarvam Shivamayam. He is not understood that yet because he is still in the path of Sri Krishna. Krishna has not yet gone and sat under the tree. Then he'll come back and rise and speak the glory of Mashana Kali. Let us come to the procedural, the embodiment, the sheer embodiment of procedural collapse, that is Bhamdev. His story is not like Sri Ramakrishna. He was not specifically encouraged and given the pedestal of being the chief priest of Dakshineshwar. He was not given that. His story is absolute procedural collapse. Let us go deeper. Before that, let me break down, okay, how do we go about this? I'll have to break down and tell you why we do the sadhana of Mahaadhyakali. I'm repeating this across videos, 1008 names, 1008 forms. Recently, a Shishya of mine, I'm just hurrying through because otherwise this video threatens to go into 2 or 3 parts. Okay, so one of my Shishyas, he's preparing to place the Balakalika Vigraham in Panchaloham, which is quite expensive. The stone is of course will be cheaper because stone is cheaper. Panchaloham is 5 metal and it is given that darkish finish and all, is very grand. So he's preparing for that. As he was preparing, the small temple that he had planned became bigger and bigger and bigger, and now it is 300 square feet on top of his terrace. From simple tiles ka plans, he is now putting granite flooring. It is becoming more and more Rajasic, and which is the form he kept on telling me. I'm doing the sadhana of Mahaadhyakali, but I'm always thinking of Ma Durga. Ma Durga is the name of Adhyakali. It's there in the Sahasranamavali. So 1008 forms is clubbed into one Adhyakali. So that is why you do the sadhana of Adhyakali. In that you find all these forms. So when Ma Durga at the highest stage of Rajasic Guna, royalty, is now speaking to this Shishya, though he is doing the sadhana of Ma Adhyakali, he does not have to do the sadhana of Ma Durga, he is doing the sadhana of Adhyakali, who is a formless. Right? Similarly, to understand the story of Bhamdev, let us break down Taraputra Bhamdev. Let us break down the Sahasranamavali again. 76th name of Mahaadhyakali, Ghoratara, the one who forces you to sit. See, understand the difference. Let us say this is the dirtiest thing in the world, something that you would close your ears, nose, the moment you see this thing. It is that dirty. It is lying somewhere on the road. It is as nasty as that. So Aghora, the path that is Aghora tells you that you should go touch it, feel it, and you say that there is nothing and throw it away. However, Ghoratara, this name of Ma Kali, which is nothing but Ma Tarini, teaching you to accept that yes, this is absolutely dirty. I am at peace with it being dirty. I am at peace with it. Even if I touch it, I will still feel disgusted. I am at peace with the feeling of disgust. There is a difference in saying that I will pretend or accept this as dirty, but I am saying that it's not dirty. No, it is not dirty, I will eat it. That is not what I am asking you to do. Ghora Tarini teaches you to embrace anything that is ghora, nasty, dirty, inauspicious, undigestible, matangi. However, to attain that state of disgust and also realize that disgust is also me. The feeling, the biochemical reactions within you that is making you think that this dirty thing that you found somewhere is me. It is not asking you to consume it. You need not consume it. You come to that state where you can even consume it. You don't have to do that to realize that this is also Devi. So whatever is ghora, take it in as the ghora tattva itself. Attain oneness with the state of seeing something disgusting. Accept it as disgusting. Live with it as a disgusting thing, but within the state of disgust, be at peace. That name of Mahaadhyakali, which you will understand only if you go towards Tarini. You will have to break down from the rituals to understand Tarini. Tarini, see, hope you are hearing that. Shema. You will have a few lifetimes in the sadhana of Ma Tara if you think that she is ritualistic. Ritual break hoga. Only then you will understand what is Ma Tara. So many of us who are very recently born into a life where we have now moved away from Ma Tripura Sundari and we are seeing Ma Tara, we still tend to think of, I hope you heard that, we still tend to think of her as ritualistic. She is beyond the rituals. Rituals karna padega, lekin Ma Tripura Sundari, to understanding Ma Kali, will it be one life or 100? Is up to you. Right? If you think that merely by doing the rituals you have gone close to Ma Tara, merely by sitting in the smashana you are going close to Ma Tara, and not understanding that she has the ability to invoke and bring the smashana into your house and bring you higher state of realization, then you are going to waste many lifetimes in that, understanding Tarini. So which is why in Adhyakali, 76th name is Ghoratara. Understand that which you find most disgusting is disgusting, but I am at peace with it, understanding that that feeling of disgust is also me. You don't have to go and eat it. You don't have to go and consume it and say, you don't have to go and consume it and say that I've consumed it, saying that it is as equal to my food. No, no need to do that. Accept that feeling of disgust as absolute communication of the Devi with you. Biochemical reaction is Devi communicating to you and saying that this thing that you call the most disgusting is disgusting. I am inside the feeling of that disgust. I accept that feeling of the disgust. I am now at peace with it. It is there. As deeply feel it as you might feel if you're getting a promotion or a great business order or a great honor in your social, if you're a social media famous person or if you're a film actor, an award, that feeling you're accepting and staying within it. Similarly, that feeling of something that is disgusting, accept it and be at peace with it. State of shunyata, absolute zero. Understand that. That is Ghora Tara. 232nd name, Tara. 232nd name of Ma Adhyakali is Tara. So one of my Sishyas who was exposed to Ma Durga while he was doing the sadhana of Ma Adhyakali, because that name is attached to him, however he is drawing it from Ma Adhyakali and attaching to Ma Durga. Similarly, on the path of Ma Adhyakali, you might find Ma Tara interacting with you, because it's all her. You are attached to the source and understanding the forms, as opposed to going to the form and taking 1008 births to go after each form. If I say that Mahagauri is my form, it is none of the names of Ma Adhyakali. If I say Ma Parvati is my form, it is one of the names of Ma Adhyakali. If I say Ma Chandi is my form, it is one of the names of Ma Adhyakali. If I say that Varahi is my form, it is one of the names of Ma Adhyakali. If I say Ma Kamakhya is my form, it is one of the names of Ma Adhyakali. Instead of going to the form, I am saying go to the source and understand. She will interact with you. Ma Kamakhya as Ma Kamakhya, Ma Adhyakali will interact with you because she's Ajya the first. I understand it is all you, but I am understanding these forms. Faster, fifth head. 241st name, Sukshmatara, the one who gives you understanding of your mind, body, attitude. What is the attitude towards a problem? What is your thought process? What is the biochemical reaction as you're exposed to something disgusting or something great or something exceptional? You have achieved something. That state of oneness towards that understanding of the Sukshma, your mind, thoughts, biochemical reactions within the Stula Sharira and its interaction with the mind. Sukshmatara. 241st name. Understand why you feel something when you see it, why that feeling is projecting a reaction within you, and why your Stula is reacting to the Sukshma's experience, and why the Sukshma is reacting to the experience of a Stula. You get burnt. Why do you react that way? All this, understanding of all this is Sukshmatara, 241st name of Adhyakali, Tarini. Someone very foolishly had the name of the profile itself was Tara or something, and they started fighting with me in the comments saying, I say that Ma Tara is inferior to Ma Kali. It's not inferior. It is Kali. I am saying that when it comes to Shakti path, go all out in all directions. How do you go all out in all directions in one life? Bhairava is the Adhara, fearlessness, going to Adhyakali high. Even in the path of Kali, people get absolutely scared when you talk about Adhyakali. My Guru did not. The moment I went up to him and said that my form is Adhyakali, he said, Bah. For a second he did not say no. You are Dikshit in Smashana Kali sadhana. How can you speak about Adhyakali? He understood my purpose just like that. Is it Atma? Hai? Do it. So that is why I call him my Guru. Right? And that is why my Parampara is this. Because every other Guru I went to hear that mera form ye hai, this is the form within Kali, or this is the form of Devi that I have. Tujhe isko hi highest manna padega. I said, yes, okay. But don't you think there is something beyond that? No. You have to understand. Please understand this. Please understand. My Guru, the Shishya of Vamdev, what he said? Tera Diksha isme hai. Right? You have spent your life in the sadhana of Mashana Kali, but now you find that beyond that, in one life, you have to touch on that Shakti, that is Adhya, you go. I will not even stop you, nor will I guide you or question you. I know you will do it, you do it. That confidence that he gave me. That is why I accepted him as the one and only Guru of my path. So anyway, coming back, 634th name, Ugratara. Highest states of Ugrata. So scary that people lose their sleep over Ugratara. However, it is 634th name of Adhyakali. She is teaching you Ugrata, highest states of Ugrata, scary, fearful, anything that would make you lose your sleep. It is her teaching you that there are things like that. Rise. So Bamdev absolutely embodying procedural collapse, teaching us that form of Devi which said that I cannot be worshipped as per Shastras, and that form of Devi which he was absolutely known for is the only one who can give you that learning, because Ma Tara's whole purpose is to teach. She is the fastest to respond, because anybody who has realized that Ma Tripura Sundari ka wo exceptional presentation or presenting her in that form, you're saying something is beyond that. Without the sari, how do I look at her without that exceptional sari? How do I look at her without all those jewels? Are you serious? This can happen in one life or 100. It is your choice. So two specific, though I do not want to sit here and mimic most of the other channels that will merely spit out the story of Bamdev. It is repeated many times. I have to go into these specific incidents to teach you how to understand Ma Adhyakali and 262nd name Tara, this Kali. How to understand this, my Parama Guru's life, and attach that with Adhyakali, who is beyond the Shastras. She makes sure that there are two specific incidents. Number one, Bamakhepa, after he is given, Bhamdev, after he is given the employment within Tarapit, because he was considered as unfit for anything else. So, ye kar lo. It's okay, he's Brahmin, sit inside the temple and help out in the temple work. One day, he was caught by the Pandits stealing and consuming the Naivedya that is being prepared for Ma Tara. And he says, what is there? Nothing there in this. I was just tasting and checking if it was fine. You tasting the Naivedya before it is offered to Devi, what does that mean? For which form does that happen? Ma Matangi, another name of Adhyakali. So, Ma Matangi, at that moment, Adhyakali interacting through Bamakhepa today, telling us about this lesson, and at that moment giving lesson and an incident was specifically placed there so that today I can talk about this. What was the lesson? You eat the prasad before offering it to Devi, which is how you come to the left hand side of Ma Saraswati. That is, even if you consume it, it doesn't become dirty, but because you are the creation of Devi. This lesson Bamdev was giving us that moment through his life. He gets badly hit and thrown out. Entire Pandits hit him, break his bones and throw him onto the outside the temple, and he goes and cries in the smashana saying that, what is this, Ma? You're so cruel to me. You're not even giving me food. I was hungry. I ate the food. What is so wrong in this? So this is olden times, 200, 300 years back. So, the Rani of that specific geographical location, in her dream, Swapnavati, we just a couple of days back in our Sahasranamavali series, we had come across this name. So she gives a darshan. It is all Madhya, right? So she who gives darshan in the Swapna, she goes and interacts with the Rani, saying that for many yugas I have been in this temple. You, who is now the Rani here, you are not even aware that my own son, who is eating the prasad that is being given to me as per my adesh, you have thrown him out. I am going to leave this place and I will destroy this entire region and bring you to nothing if I leave. So Swapnavati is somebody who comes and interacts, Swapneshwari, that is the name of Adhyakali. Somebody who interacts with the bhaktas in the Swapna state. That is at the lowest state of sadhana. Interaction will only happen in Swapna. Only when you are in the dream state. At the highest state of sadhana, the Swapnas will interact. The Swapna will happen even when your eyes are wide open, because your third eye is the most active one. So if you are only getting darshan of Devi in the sleep and darshan of Devi when you are even awake and the dream just plays in front of your eyes, that is a state of Samadhi. That is the fourth state of Samadhi, when Devi will interact when your eyes are open itself. So coming back to the subject, your people have hit my son and he is hurt. Devi shows the wound on her body, similar to what Bamdev had, and says, see, they have hit me. How could you do this? So here there is a very important message. Vamdev embodying Bhairava itself. Vamdev is Bhairava. He always walked with 4 dogs, the 4 Vedas. He had 4 dogs. He lived with them, ate their food also. He fought with them. He sometimes sat along with them as they ate the half-burned bodies in the smashana. He would sit with them. Today the peacocks are very active. He would sit there and consume it along with them. So, he being Bhairava Tattva completely had successfully embodied Devi within. Now Devi was him. Because he is Bhairava, Devi can only reside within you when there is Bhairava, because Devi is half. Like Akshobhya, he sits there embodying Bhairava absolutely, and Devi had taken complete possession and made him a Divya. So the Rani is bewildered because she's not even aware of such an incident. She's like, she calls upon everybody, all the Pandits, and says, what has happened here? And the Pandits are shocked. What do you mean? Devi gave you darshan to just to speak about him. He's nobody there. No. Immediately ensure that from today, Brahma should be fed before the Devi. So all the Nevedya was offered to Brahma first and then offered to Ma Tara. 232nd name of Adhyakali, Tara. Incident number 2. So the Shastras are broken now. The Niyamas are broken here already in this incident. Incident number 2. In the most inauspicious, Devi is absolutely found as much as you would find in the most auspicious. Vamdev in the highest states of Samadhi, he is in Dhyana, sitting right next to the Vigraham of Ma Tarini in Tarapit. He passes urine onto the statue. The Pandas are already waiting for a chance to throw this guy about already she's asking us to feed him before we feed Devi. This itself they're not able to accept. And when they see this, that's it, done. They start hitting him left and right and throw him out of the temple again. And again he retreats to the smashana and lives there. Our poor Rani, now in deep sleep again, she gets another vision from Ma Tarini, and now this time she's very angry. She says, and Vamdev also, before he was being thrown out, he said, it is between me and my mother. Who are you in between? What is your business here? It is between me and my mother. I have urinated on my mother. Every son urinates on the mother's lap. This has never happened to you and your mother. Then you are saying that your mother is separate and she is separate. She is my mother. Empty Garbhagriha. Devaki Tattva has been detached from, and Yashoda Tattva has been completely embodied by Vamdev here. Pandas do not take all this. No, as per my rituals and all this is not done. As per my return niyamas is not done. You get out. They throw him out. Somebody was not even at the Shastra. She is coming and giving us dhyana. Get out. You will teach us. Get out. Throw him out. Break his bones. So they throw him out. Our Rani, peacefully having a nap, gets the vision of Devi. Very angry, hair flying. She stands in front of him and says that, now you have thrown my son outside again because he urinated in my lap. He is my son. It is you who says that you call me Ma, but you never see me as Ma because you only do good with me. Only do the nice things with me. Whereas my son, he is truly my son. He has urinated in my lap because you all call me Ma. For him I am Ma. Not because he is special. Because he has attained that state where he has understood what it is to call a Devi Ma. I have spoken about this many times in my videos. You cannot say that your own birth mother is Ma and be absolutely close to her. You will find that you will not be able to go close to Devi. Devaki has to be said bye to, with respect, taken care of physically very well. However, if you are still with Devaki, you will find distance with Yashoda. That is why Vamdev would say that his Ma Tarini, 232nd name, was Badima, and his own birth mother was Chotima. Devaki and Yashoda, empty Garbhagriha of the mother, was placed beautifully by Vamdev, giving us the message today, 300 years later, 200 years later. Devi is astounded. The Rani is astounded that Devi gave her a darshan again 2 times only because this sadhaka, I don't know what sort of a sadhaka he is that he has come to this state. She rushes to the temple and again she absolutely takes everybody to task and says that whatever hereafter, listen very carefully, this is the most important thing, where Adhya gives the message that whatever it is that Vamdev does from today is the vidhi of Tarapit. Listen carefully again. Whatever he follows from the morning till the night will become the Vidhi of Tarapeet. So she says she has broken, Vamdeva has successfully broken the Shastras and says that whatever she does now becomes the written niyama of this Kshetra. Why did Ma Adhyakali refuse to stay there and say that I throw me back into the Ganges because you are only coming to me as per the written niyamas, break down the niyamas. Where is the breakdown of niyamas? Where did it happen exceptionally? When Brahma Hatya became the identity of a deity. And who is the deity? Bhairava. So who is Vamdev, who was always surrounded by his 4 dogs? Bhairava. He is a living, breathing Bhairava. He was the Bhairava that was walking around in that Kshetra, giving us jnana, which will today allow us to understand why Ma Adhyakali is again rising from somewhere where she is devoid or never restricted as per the Shastras. This is the message. There is a form that refused to be. If you're looking at Ma Kali as below the Shastras, then you're not understanding her completely, because in some other galaxy she has written a completely different Shastra. That is the answer here. She has written something completely, niyamas are totally different, because for you to align with across the cosmos, across the galaxies, Milky Way hai, Coffee Way hai, सब कुछ में align करना है, तो यहाँ पे जो तुम against the Shastras is actually the Shastra there. So in some other cosmic creation, that is how you look at Ma Adhyakali. Vamdev would always say that the dogs in his pitha, this is all there in the texts. Just like I would say that kutta bana ke rakh lunga, all that I've uttered these words inside this garbhagriha is nothing but it is to be the dog in a Shakti Pitha is nothing but you being given 12 years of jnana while sitting in the Shakti Pitha and understanding absolute closeness with the Devi. You know, when we had visited Dakshineshwar, there was this female dog that was continuously coming towards me and sitting and waiting and listening to us talk. This is all realized sadhakas who make one small mistake in their sadhana path and end up as a dog, or they are there for a specific lesson. So dogs of Shakti Pitas are very important, and that is why dogs of Shakti Pita are absolute Bhairava Tattva. So Bhamdev giving us the message of absolute procedural collapse. यहाँ पे श्री रामकृष्ण मानसिक शिष्य आनंद ठाकुर attaining Murti of Ma Adhyakali with Abhaya Mudra, Varada Mudra, giving the phat that as per Shastras, you do not get to define me, throw me back. Take some photos but throw me back. I do not want to come like this. And then from out of nowhere, me attaining an exceptional, loving, absolute blessing, I cannot even describe it, to attain a guru like that. And connecting to this lineage, when I have never chased after lineage, I have always been anti-lineages, anti-organizations. I have always been like, agar tum bolo ke ye hai YouTube ka name, I will not fit in that. This is the name of how social media mein gurus have supposed to grow. You sit and praise the famous gurus in the comment section and then give friend request to 10 people, and then that is how you become. No. And then that lineage making the most sense that this is what I have always been speaking about. Complete breakdown of procedural collapse. Complete procedural collapse. Devi saying that as per the Shastras, I am at this state. However, when everything breaks, you understand Ma Tarini, whose exceptional son, Kali Putra, keeps coming into my Tara Putra, Bhamdev, breaking down all Shastras at the most powerful Shakti Pitha and giving the lesson that when the Shastras break, and Devi said that isko na ye jo baitha hai na Bhairava, Bhairava jo baitha hai वहाँ पे वो मेरा बच्चा है, and my Bhairava will now teach you what is the way of the fifth head. That is what Bhamdev did. Some days he would open the temple and start the puja for that day at 3 o'clock. Some day he would start the puja at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and people were so puzzled because he was telling them that when Devi asks me to do the puja, I will do the puja. Why are you saying that I should stick to this time only? This is why I say first 3 years stick to the timing, and slowly you will find that the whole day you are in the sadhana of Devi. You will light the lamp when she asks you to light the lamp. In this Garbhagriha also there is no rules. When I say that someday I will be like, she tells me, oh, you pour 15 buckets of water on me, I will pour 15 buckets of water on her and I will clean her. Some other day I am like, Ma tujhe abhishek chahiye, today I will only give you oil bath. Okay. And while I'm giving oil bath, she will say, okay, you put Ashtagandha on me today, I'll put. Todo, go beyond what is written in the fifth head. Otherwise, spend lifetimes after lifetimes. If she is very kind to you, if you have been in the sadhana of Mata Tara, but you are afraid to break down the Shastras like Bamdev, you are making a mistake if you continuously say he was special, he was special, he was special. She was specific in making him take birth in a simple Brahmin family and then him going against whatever is written. वो message तो दिया था उन्होंने. What was the message? You guys do not allow your limited perception to destroy the greatest message of my Paramaguru, Bamakhepa. Break down what is written. Skand is Jai Ma. Skand is active in the forest around my house today. After you break down and spend specific time in Nama Japa, you will understand कि तुम जो बोलते हो वही, that will become the niyama of that kshetra. Whenever I would go to my guru, वो क्या करते थे? I am supposed to be the shishya, right? But he will eat only if I eat. He will not eat. He will say that first you have to eat, only then I will eat. That guru is supposed to eat before the shishya. But he will say, you eat before me. All this I began to notice and understand that this is what I have always been talking about, procedural collapse. In the four heads of Brahma, there is all the jnana of Devi. However, in the fifth head of Brahma, there is all the jnana that Brahma doesn't know. And that will give you absolute ownership on the Vajra. So Bhamdev's message is not to understand him as an exceptional sadhaka, but to understand what is the crux. A simple Brahmin boy, but could never learn the Shastras and the Vedas, goes into Samadhi merely by utterance of the Nama Japa, then goes and passes urine on inside the Garbhagriha, then completely changes the Shastras of a Shakti Pitha as per his whims and fancies, because Devi says, ye jo kar raha hai na, that is what I want. Because he initiates and begins the procedural collapse process wherein Devi's ideology, Devi's love towards the fifth head, that only Bhairava should hold the fifth head, that is the jnana of Devi itself, he perfectly teaches us. So, what we have been uttering for so many years, for you guys, so many months, that beyond the Shastras there is a path to Devi, and the Paramaguru of that path is Bamakhepa. He is going to become extremely popular in coming times, where rituals break. He would sit with the dogs in the smashana, where the burning bodies are being snatched by the dogs, and the dogs are sitting right next to him and eating. He would talk to these dogs as if they were his sons, daughters, friends. He would say that these are all bad sadhaks who did small mistakes, So that's why they are here. First minor corrections. So these dogs were his shishya. So you would have to wonder, where people like me, all one of those dogs. Have we had lives as one of those dogs? You have to think. Is that why I believed that you should keep 7 dogs in this house, 8 dogs in this house, and only then it can be called a Bhairava's, asana. Understand Bhamdev and understand how easily she gives you a message. Ma Tara, as she accelerates you from Ma Tripura Sundari towards Ma Kali, she gives you the most simple message. Simple, clear, crystal clear. Ma Tara, you can still go for 15 lifetimes. But the faster you understand what she is, Ghora Tara, what is she? Ghora. Understand what is Ghora and take it fully. And understand that within the most disgusting, within the most unacceptable event, there is Devi. Equal, but वहाँ पे crowd कम है, तो Devi ज़्यादा है. यहाँ पे everybody says that I'll offer one flower on her. Only for you people I'm offering flower, because some of you get hurt. I'm going to stop offering flowers on some of these videos. And none of these flowers are also wilting. They are there for so many months now. They are absolutely fresh. It is there in this bowl. I'll try to show you guys. These are the flowers of many months. They don't wilt. They don't wilt, they just stay fresh all the time. So, be a Veera. Break down and say, Devi, in everything inauspicious about me also, I see you only. That is how you attain closeness with Ma Kali. Because Tara is Ma Kali. Ma Tripura Sundari is Ma Kali. As you go higher and higher, you understand that all orifices within you are equally pious. I don't know if I said this in this video. A famous Krishna guru in the path of Sri Krishna, he was visited by somebody who had a tattoo of Mahadev written here, and he scolded him saying that, what is this on the left hand? You have put the tattoo when you're washing and all, that water will flow here. And you are insulting the Nama of Mahadeva, is it not? You should not put tattoo like this. Please understand, the left hand is also Devi, it is also Shakti, it is also Shiva and Shakti, the right hand is also Shiva and Shakti, what you consume is also Shiva and Shakti, what goes out is also Shiva and Shakti, the process of digestion is Shiva Shakti, the acids formed inside your stomach is also Shiva and Shakti. So he will come in another life and understand this path. That is why I tell you have one life, go all out in all path. Attached to Ma Adhya Kali, she will take you through the 1008 forms. Finish it off in one spectacular lifetime. Why do you want to come back 1008 times to understand and spend a lifetime in each name? Why don't you do it in one life? Simple, to the point, crisp. So Bhamdev, my Paramaguru, his message, simple, crystal clear, living, breathing Mahakala Bhairava. Seating inside him, Ma Tarini. Hit him and Devi got hit. Throw him out and Devi said that I will also go out. Why? Because he was Bhairava. Bhairava. He had the Adhara of Bhairava within, he became Bhairava. So Bhairava is not a form that you go into a temple and see. You, Bhairava is you. You are Bhairava. That state you need to attain. Only then you can attain anything to do with Devi. Otherwise, most of us tend to say, I am a woman, so I am Devi. I am a man, so I am Shiva Tattva. No. Bhairava. You have to seat Bhairava within. And then you get to seat Devi. That is not going to be easy. You cannot sit and sing praises of people just to attain a small progress in life. I will speak on this subject. This is a completely separate subject. Becoming Bhairava is procedural collapse. Born into a Brahmin family, unable to recite any or understand anything to do with the Shastras, only Nam Japa, goes into Samadhi, urinates on the Vigraham of Devi, उठा के पीठाधिपति बना दिया उनको. ये जो जिसने वो किया ना, वो मेरा पुत्र है, वो इस तारा पुत्र. Ensure that he decides the Shastras and you follow it. You who sits on the Simhasana, please understand that your Simhasana is aligned to this Kshetra. If he is hurt, your Simhasana will be broken into two pieces and thrown away, and history will not even know who you are. But you take care of him, I will ensure that history speaks about you. Also, she tells Devi. She tells the Rani. That is how Kali functions. If she likes you, if she has taken fondness to you, सब कुछ तोड़ देगी तेरे लिए. Nobody will exist but only you. If you say that, Ma, I like to walk in this path, Ma, you know I love you, you know I take care of you, so this path is what I want to walk. Okay, we'll make this a relevant path. Done. Creator of Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. She can do anything. So Bhamdev, do not look at him as an extraordinary birth itself. Look at him as a simple birth of an avatar of Bhairava, and him giving all the lessons on how to seat Devi within you and attain the highest states within the sadhana path and Shakti. In the Shakti path, breaking down of Shastras, which is what Adhya Kali said. You are worshipping as per the Shastra. You are saying you are restricting people that you come like this only, then you can see me. I don't want it. Throw me back right away. Do not call me here again. I will rise when it is time for me to rise. So in this path, the Paramaguru is Paramaguru Sri Bhamdev, Bamakhepa, from the tradition of the divinely insane, divinely mad Khepa tradition. I will try and put another video where I speak about my Guru now, who is a Shishya of Paramaguru Sri Bhamdev. I do not want to hug on to the lineage and say that because I am from this lineage, you should keep me special. Bhamji himself was not from a lineage. He was procedural collapse. And that is the right way to go to Devi. Not because I'm from this family, I'm from that, Guru initiated me, so I'm. To zero se bhi chal. Madly, if you go behind her, no, she'll madly come behind you. Because the most karmically backward bloodline and the most karmically blessed bloodline is still her, because the karma bhi unhone banaya hai, the negative experiences are her, the positive experiences are also her. So isme bhi ek simhasan hai, isme bhi ek simhasan hai, and she can empower any one of that which is correctly creating an empty garbhagriha and calling her, and Devi will sit within. Bhairava is the adhara. Become Bhairava, becoming Bhairava. That is the message of Bamdev. Jai Ma. We got half cooked in this garbhagriha that is mimicking an oven today. Jai Ma.